NBC Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. Two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. Prescott looks to throw right away. He's got it complete to Tolbert. Finding space at the 40. He's still on his feet. Inside the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Prescott to throw it. He rifles one that's intercepted. Taylor Rapp with a pick. And the Rams are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ballgame.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there.
Nice job there forcing that incompletion. This is going to be a fun battle throughout this game, watching them try to take away that area of the field.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. They'll try and run for this with Akers. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them.
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. Now, the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And how about this for a setup? The ball will go over on downs at the 1-yard line. Trying to power it in with Arma. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Alex Arma, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up and negate the touchdown that was just given up.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
The Rams at 1-3 here in the early part of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford steps away to his left.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Prescott now. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz.
He'll get it inside the 20.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Troy Hill picks it. And the Rams will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
On the counter, this is Akers.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
They snap it to Stafford. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown.
Well, that's what you get, apparently, when you try to take on a Pro Bowl cornerback. I mean, what a play there to make the interception and also bring it back for 6.
And he is so good that we've seen teams absolutely stay away from throwing the ball at him. Here, he's just reading the quarterback's eyes the entire way, makes a great play on the football, and turns it into 6.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Stafford. And he rifles one incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But it proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
And 9 yards to go.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Stafford. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Normally I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already showed in the first half that they'll go for it on 4th down.
Well, they should have already said punt it, punt it. Head coach have already made that decision.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. From the 45 on 2nd down, Prescott. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
The Dallas Cowboys provide a fresh opportunity for wide receiver James Washington, who picks up a 1st down with that catch. He ended up sinking down the depth chart in Pittsburgh after posting 700 yards in his 2nd season. He's hoping that he can play over the top as he did so well in college and early in his Pittsburgh tenure for the Cowboys.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now Prescott. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Stafford going to give this to Akers.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
20. Middle.
Throwing is Stafford. That'll be caught. It's caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A gain there of 21 yards. Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Going right back to Akers.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
To throw is Stafford. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
Stay 50. Hey. 59.
Now it's Stafford. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Off the play fake, Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
So that's potentially an important takeaway here in this 2nd quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Akers.
Neville Gallador on the stop.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
Ready.
2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0.
We remind you in just a couple of minutes we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far.
32.
from the 29. Stafford. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
32.
From the shotgun, here's a give to Akers. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
4th down, and we go from one Matt to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal.
And Gay knocks this one through, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And this is going to be a Cowboys first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line.
What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see it where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Trying to lay one up deep. And now here's another interception.
And the Rams are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the Cowboys here on 3rd down bringing in an extra defensive back. Now Stafford.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jordan Lewis.
An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Prescott.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down at the 27. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards out, left hash. Marr able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Rams set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. They're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting more pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Stafford. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. Now, that'll be caught by Cup. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Stafford. Got a man open. It's Tyler Higbee.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man right side is Cup, complete. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough, and it'll be 4th down.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
On 4th down, Stafford. And able to find Higbee. It's complete. And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Hey, nothing to see here. Just your standard 4th down gain of 28 yards. And the drive keeps going. So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
But they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
From the gun on third down, Stafford. And that is incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a first down, threw a fastball when that wasn't necessary. Incomplete pass. When are these quarterbacks going to learn? You don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
On fourth down, Stafford gets this into the hands of the tight end, Higbee.
And he is going to have the Rams first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that fourth down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
On the give, this is Akers.
And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
On Stafford for the third time is intercepted.
Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch.
And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
At this point in the game, in a situation they're in, partner, these incompletions that we're seeing, they need to turn into positive snaps, and soon.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Stafford now to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
First down.
First down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Draw play, Elliott. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 66 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And now the Rams have got it. Going the other way. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game. So hold on here. Not done in the 4th. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
To the air again, Stafford. And that will be incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
Monday.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. That is caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Akers. He is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal. Akers again. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Cam Akers, his third rushing touchdown on the year. And the Rams have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now, Charles, of course, you got to remember, last possession they fumbled. It led to a touchdown. One-score game here. Got to be careful.
And this is where coaching and training really comes into play, doesn't it? What does everyone say after an error? Next play, move on, next drive. That mantra has to come to the front. They've got to take care of business right here and act like the last series just didn't happen.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Prescott to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
So with your team leading in the fourth quarter, you know you've got to run the football. They know you've got to run the football. Sometimes that means there's nowhere to run the football.
On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. That's into the hands of Tolbert. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. To throw is Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
After the interception, here's Stafford. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hey, 22!
Now Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys have just about sewn up this football game. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, they can smell victory, partner. They can see it on the horizon, but certainly we're not done yet here. Defense still has 3 timeouts, and obviously this is a very slim lead they're holding on to.
And let's face it, the easiest way to get this done, challenge your ground game. Challenge your offensive line, your tight ends, your receivers, anyone who's going to lay down a block. Don't let there be penetration because they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and maybe bring extra people to the ball. If you can do that, make them burn their timeouts, run out the clock, life will be good. But if you really want to gamble a little bit, A quick play action, quick throw, might be able to get it done. Just make sure it's not incomplete and stop the clock.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Prescott. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Rams are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah. Ty Detmer.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Stafford now to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Boy, they get him yet again, Charles. 5 interceptions in this game. You rarely see this, maybe a couple of times in a season, but this defense, they've been fantastic.
It's certainly an example of watching a defense that is in the zone, right? We use that term so often, but most of the time, it's for people who are on offense. In this case, it's a defense as a whole, all locked in with each other, all ready to go.
2nd and long, but you got to figure this almost certainly another run. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football. I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers run a quick slant or something like that.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
The kick by Marr is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball's been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
And they take a knee. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. And they'll indeed take a knee. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And this coaching staff